Hello and welcome to this next part of Super Danganronpa Another 2. We are in the trial. We kicked Tsurugi's ass a bit with Yuki. And now he's cooperative.
Yeah, because Yuki told him to be, basically.
Yeah. Man, that was good.
Ah, it was excellent. Right, let's see what else we're doing this trial.
Yeah.
Wait, Yuki, just listen to me for a minute. Are you really taking his word for it?
What? Is Mikado lying? The fact that Mikado made his own alter ego is simply incorrect. Alter ego Mikado was co-developed.
Yes.
Co-developed? There was someone who helped him? That's wrong. It's quite the opposite. Mikado was the helper, not the main developer.
Yuki, you know her well. Main developer's name was Kokoro Kurokawa, or you might know her as Kokoro Mitsume.
What? Kokoro? It's her? There was a document in the infirmary that showed various conversations between Mikado and Kokoro. I think it's clear that the two of them had some kind of working relationship and that Kokoro was the main producer of Mikado's alter ego.
Yeah, she programmed him. She took a brain map of IRL Mikado and then whacked away at programming him.
Kokoro, what a nostalgic name. How painful it is to hear the name of your dead creator.
Wait, I don't understand. Why is Kokoro being brought up? Kokoro's dead. We know how she died, right? My head hurts.
Are you okay, Yuki? Quiet, everyone. You're forgetting that Yuki here didn't investigate like you all. I know you're all impatient, but don't say all of this as if it's common knowledge. Have pity for Yuki here.
Shut up! You're just trying to make Yuki's memories come back.
Let me take over the explanation from here. I'll explain all the details you might not all know.
What are you saying?
As you've all said, I am an alter ego created by two people, Mikado Sonoji and Kokoro Kurokawa. Mikado Sonoji desperately tried to gather information on the whereabouts of Master Utsuro. In the process of this, he learned quite a bit about computing and ended up becoming a hacker to search for information. Kokoro Kurokawa was the prominent psychologist and researcher who excelled in the field of psychology. She left psychology for some reason and began to work on the field of brain science. It was made because of a coincidence of interest between Kokoro and Mikado. Do you understand?
Interests?
Mikado wanted to revive Utsuro as an alter ego, and Kokoro wanted to understand emotions. Create a human from scratch was their goal. Of course, a lot of research on emotions was needed for this.
Wait, alter egos were created by Hope Speak Academy students, right? So, was Kokoro a Hope Speak student?
Kokoro was not a student of Hope Speak Academy, but her excellent abilities were comparable to that of an Ultimate. Ultimate's talent is not absolute, of course. Hope Speak Academy is the best educational institution in the world. But a talented person doesn't always have to attend Hope's Peak. Continuing on, both of them extracted the data from Master Utsuro based on experimental data taken from Kokoro's daughter, which loosely means... Let me finish this. That was the base of my alter ego, which loosely means that he is an amalgamation of the data of Kokoro's Mikako's interactions with Utsuro. And based off of those interactions, they tried to Frankenstein like a mini Utsuro with a combination of Mikado's actual brain mapping. So he's like
basically a half clone of IRL Mikado, but not really. Because there's a whole bunch of other data mixed in him, and it's all clashing and shit.
I see.
That's also why he can't really hold a form together, if you notice. It's because he's not just really one entity. He's like a combination of some bullshit. I love him. He's really, he's overtly complicated for no reason at all.
Wait, Kokoro Kurokawa, could it be Mikako? No way.
Finally a response! This must be a familiar name for Tsurugi and Rei here. As you might have expected, yes, your classmate Kokoro is the mother of Mikako Kurokawa.
What? Tsurugi, did you know anything about this?
Oh.
Doesn't look
Nada.
like it. Is that a no? Oi, Shobai Hashimoto.
What?
Why was I not informed? Giving me all the information was part of our contract. Did you hide this, or was it just not known?
Director, I don't even know everything about Mikado in this place. I didn't bother to find out anything that wasn't related to our deal. Got no clue about that Kokoro girl's past.
Mikako's mother was involved with Mikado Sanoji? It's got to be a coincidence, right?
Somewhat, based on what we saw, yeah.
By the way, isn't this the first time Shobai's spoken in this trial?
Wait, Mikado, experimental data on her daughter? Tell me more about that. It's the first time I've heard of anything about it.
All Monocro said was that she had a daughter and that she was missing. And about an experiment, what happened?
What a pain. Honestly, it isn't that relevant to my plan at all. Well, if you're all so curious about it, I'll put it simply for you all. We're experiments on primitive emotions.
Primitive emotions? What's that?
In short, the original source of human emotions. Even though I'm not human, I still didn't understand it well. First emotions humans have when they are born, that pure emotion that is unaffected by external factors. Anyways, to study emotions, Kokoro... She was pregnant with a girl and immediately after its birth locked her away and studied her emotions from a lab.
Why would she?
Because she's a piece of work. That's why.
Iroha is having priorities. Pregnancy, babies, experiments on children. Is that legal? I don't think
I mean,
so.
it's her own child. It's not that it's illegal, it's that she has a higher chance of getting away with it since it's her own child, so people mind their own business unless it's reported, so...
During this, she connected an external device to the girl's brain to obtain emotional details from it. However, her partner escaped and took their daughter, called Mikako. And from that moment until Mikako's death, everything she experienced was stored on Kokoro's computer.
Kokoro's daughter is dead?
Oh, yes.
Yes, she's dead, because Mikako was a student of Hope's Peak's 79th class, and Tsurugi and Rei's classmates. Harry didn't mention it. In the killing game of the 79th class, everyone died except for 3 people.
That is correct. Shobai informed me that somehow this killing game was supposed to be a recreation. That intel was correct. Yeah, also, Junko Enoshima said that she had destroyed the data sent by Utsuro. So that's how Mikado learned the contents of the killing game that nobody except the 3 survivors knew.
That's correct. All of it was etched into Mikako Kurokawa's brain. However, Mikako appears to have died before Master Utsuro's identity was revealed. Combining that with the backup data from alter ego Yamato stored in the Kisaragi Foundation, it's possible to see the entire contents of the Killing Game. Yeah, they compared both of those. So, my boy here is just an amalgamation of nonsense.
Yeah.
Of how they put him together. Because we'll get into the part of the plan of why they put so much effort into Frankensteining him together in a minute. Because it hasn't quite gone into the explanation of why they worked so hard on him specifically. How about that? Do you understand now, Yuki? The fact that I am not human, and am indeed an alter ego. Mikado and Kokoro worked together to develop the alter ego Mikado who's right in front of us. This alter ego then hired Shobai and made plans to make the Killing Game we're currently in. Something's off.
What is it, Sora?
That's right, it's been on my mind ever since the investigation. Mikado, your purpose is to revive Utsuro, right? Yes, my mouth is dry from having to explain this so many times. I was wondering about something you said a while ago. You said that the human Mikado was trying to revive Utsuro. Even though you're an alter ego, is your goal still the same?
What are you trying to say, Sora? That's right. The alter ego that was supposed to be Utsuro's then became alter ego Mikado. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that was what I was going to explain. Basically, they tried to Frankenstein all that data together to make Utsuro that way, and it didn't work. So that is what he is, basically. He became his own entity, and basically took on, IRL Mikado's appearance and identity in order to do a different plan himself. So that's the basis of that information. It's a mess.
Yeah, that's what was on the computer during the investigation.
I'll explain that. In short, it's because as soon as I was created, I got over my father's thinking. What are you talking about? I think you're wrong. Mikado made me to target Master Utsuro, but the first model that became my base was a replica. Don't you know? So far, all the developers of alter egos haven't been for someone else. You want to know why?
Because your own brain is easier to understand than someone else's? It said on the computer in the infirmary that an alter ego follows the developer's personality.
That's correct, Yuriko. In other words, even if you scan your brain 100%, you can't implement it inside of other people. That's why Mikado implemented his own brain data, since it was taking time to tune the data.
So, then why are you exactly the same as Mikado?
Because you die before you can resurrect Master Utsuro. From the moment my consciousness awoke, I aided Mikado in calculating his plans. I'm a clone of his internal brain structure, so it's no surprise that my purpose is the same. However, why hasn't my data changed to Master Utsuro's, you might be asking? Because it was a terrible plan from the start.
I can't imagine, like... no. No way that could have worked.
Basically what he's saying was, I did I went over the process in my head and computed it, and it's bullshit, so I made a better plan, is basically what he's telling everybody. It was too imperfect of a plan with a low success rate, and not to mention it was very inefficient. That's why I secretly hired Shobai Hashimoto behind Mikado's back and ordered him to kill him.
How is that possible? You're just an AI. How did you hire a broker?
I'm just an AI. Are you saying that I'm less than human?
Ah, yes. Oopsie.
I love you, it's okay. These guys are idiots.
Uh-huh.
From the moment I was brought into this world, I surpassed human wisdom. All humans are beneath me. There's no human that comes close, except for Master Utsuro with his love.
An alter ego can theoretically navigate through any network in the entire world. Furthermore, in our current age of internet, nothing would be impossible for him to find out.
He's basically like, hi, I'm smart.
But still, you killed the person who created you.
Revive Master Utsuro using Mikado's original plan. Put it simply, would have taken too long. Anyway, it would be impossible for him to meet with Master Utsuro. He's only human after all. This is my only plan. I killed him and carried out his purpose. It's the same result in the end. In the end, there's just one final step before Master Utsuro gets resurrected.
Just shut up. Give me my body back. You say that the real Mikado is dead, but how about Kokoro Kurokawa? What happened to her?
Kokoro. You're referring to her. Well, Kokoro kept me alive. She was the deciding factor of my life. She decided to let me continue with the plan myself.
He was fine with killing IRL. Yeah.
What? You're the only artificially created emotion in existence. How far can you grow? Could your emotions surpass that of a real human? And where would they go from there? Show me. Let yourselves be carried by your emotions. Act on them. I won't stop you. Because you're the freest being in the world. I see that Kokoro probably didn't help his complex in a different way.
No, she full-on enabled him, bro.
I can act proactively because I have emotions. My unexpected behavior was due to someone adjusting my emotions. Kokoro's goal was the study of emotions. She infused me with an excess of emotion that exceeded my needs.
Which is kind of why he's so fucking manic. I love him.
And as a result, you modified the plan to your will, and in the process, you killed Mikado.
What? Everything we fought for, everything we've been through was all because of Kokoro? That's just a theory. Kokoro would never do that.
She would.
She would.
This is all her fault.
No, Kokoro would have expected this to happen. She didn't even try to stop me. What would you even expect from someone who experiments on a baby, even when it's just in the womb? Even to me, an artificial intelligence, the existence of somebody like Kokoro is surprising.
She's a mad scientist. A mad scientist.
Yeah, but that kind of makes her interesting.
Yeah. Wait, but Kokoro was trapped and got murdered in the killing game. How do you explain that?
She was trapped? Oh, Yuki, you've got it all wrong. Kokoro voluntarily participated in the killing game.
Yeah, that makes sense. She would probably...
She wanted to see it with her own eyes, yeah.
That's crazy. She wanted to see how the Neo-World program works combined with my software in the virtual world. As for me, being implemented as a virtual avatar in a virtual world, it's the first time I've experienced the sensation of walking.
But Kokoro lost her memory like us.
That was a surprise from me.
That means another betrayal.
It was an unavoidable decision. Kokoro was the only person who could possibly stop me. She'd just cause problems later.
Yeah.
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 I love him.
I thought it'd be best to take advantage of this situation. Okay, well that's the whole story.
I slipped up on ad-libbing on one of his monologues, but yeah, none of them are fucking related. It's just programmer, a nerd, making Frankensteining together an alter ego and shit going wrong.
Kokoro. Scientist who used her daughter for human experiments without hesitation and threw away her dignity for research. It's the true nature of the Kokoro Mitsume we all knew.
Oof.
Is it for the best for everyone? She had her memories erased? Is the Kokoro I met during the killing school trip always that terrible?
Yeah.
There's no point in thinking about it now.
I mean, maybe her younger self could have turned out differently. Who knows?
I just disagree. She literally approached a man with the intent of having a child and then studying that child, and that is it. She feels nothing empathy wise.
She did care for Emma though.
Yeah.
This is what I mean with could have turned out differently, when different things could have happened during teenage years.
Perhaps. I'm not sure.
Brain still forming and stuff.
Who knows?
No matter how much I think, she's already dead. And the dead can never come back. It's a rule of the world, an impossible thing to change.
That's enough. Well, it is good that, as a result, 2 insane criminals ended up dead because of a rogue AI. There's no place for sympathy. All we have to do is beat the degenerate scum in front of us. Instead of reacting to these dramatic reveals, we should switch topics.
That's right, the story of my life is pretty dramatic. Anyway, since that point, the killing game proceeded smoothly. Yoriko, what's wrong?
It's nothing. I'm just feeling a bit sick. It's a terrible series of events. It's just hard to bear.
I'm feeling sick too. Look how ill I am.
I love you. My terrible little shitty husband. I love him.
Be strong, Yoriko. If you give up now, it will all be in vain. I know it's an unusual case, but we have to stop him here. I agree, but he's not human. Was there really no way to stop him from the beginning?
He poses a good point.
Trap him on a PC without internet access.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's really it though.
Would be hard to
Just
accomplish, but
Just gotta unplug the network really. Before he gets off of it and hops to another.
I mean, he is currently in a program and very occupied at that.
Yeah, true.
I'm right. Even this class trial was all planned by Mikado. Not to mention the Kisaragi Foundation is clueless.
I love how much he roasts them.
Yeah.
And like, he basically lashes out at everyone here because he's frustrated at his own situation. Like, I'm stuck here. My body is over there. And y'all are doing jack shit to help me out.
Man, and he needs everything explained because he wasn't even allowed to look at shit.
He's such a fucking baby. Anyway.
Oh, you okay?
Uh-huh.
Everything's gonna be fine. Let's just keep going. We're all gonna get out of this.
How surprisingly optimistic coming from you.
I mean, he knows what Mikado's planning, so he knows.
Yeah, pretty nice of him to mention that, or he's just tired of Yuki.
He's probably tired of Yuki's whining, yeah.
Just like, can you shut the fuck up? Probably. That's unexpected of you, Shobai. There's nothing to worry about.
Although it's not ideal for everyone, but I wouldn't consider what's gonna happen a bad ending.
Hmm? Really? How do you know?
He's literally in league with him again. Iroha. Brain.
I said the same thing, remember? From the beginning I said I had no intention of killing you all. I only want to revive Master Utsuro.
That's bullshit. You know full well what will happen when Utsuro is resurrected. Nabasset is disaster incarnate. A thing such as him shouldn't exist in this world.
Well, Est, your unwavering conviction is amazing. What you just said is quite ironic. Your life wouldn't be the same without Master Utsuro. Divine luck was cast on you too, was it not?
What? What's he talking about?
During the killing game of the 79th class, Tsurugi here was saved by divine luck. Your legs. You're in a wheelchair, aren't you? Hasn't it gotten to the point where you can't even walk anymore?
Shut up. I would rather die than unleash a monster like Utsuro. As long as I live, I will never allow him to come back to life. Never.
Your will is irrelevant. The result has already been decided. Now then, let's move on. After making a swift deal with Shobai, my plan progressed. He did such a wonderful job solving my physical limitations. But I never thought he would betray me. From that moment on, I began to collect diverse information that was necessary for my plan, using networks from all over the world. That's when I obtained the 3 most important pieces of information.
What are you talking about?
I mean, you should already know.
Really? What are you
Bloody Roha,
expecting
you're
of
so
her?
dumb.
Always expect nothing of her, then you're better off.
I know, honestly.
Iroha, what's he talking about?
No need to rush, let's discuss them one by one.
Another non-stop debate. Why are you asking me every time now?
Because it be like that.
We are not that forgetful.
No.
Yeah.
If it's something she should already know, then maybe it...
Kokoro constantly monitored me. So in my contract with Shobai, he was to assume the role of my body. And what was the first piece of information that I obtained from Shobai when we formed a connection? The clue is that something directly related to Iroha.
It's something to do with me. Maybe it's got something to do with my fortune? Did you find a trace of Utsuro?
No, you're both wrong. I don't know why, but Iroha seems to be putting in almost no effort at all. The grand plan to revive Master Utsuro. During its creation process, I felt like I needed some partners.
My partners, you mean people to betray? Ah, so it's like the children of Utsuro? Void?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the children of Utsuro.
Partners? What would a person like Mikado consider a partner?
This.
It's probably the fortune thing that Iroha says. Does it have something to do with my fortune?
No, it's not really directly.
It
But
is.
yeah.
Because it's referencing the divine luck.
Save, save.
Yeah.
If it has something to do with Iroha, then it's gotta be how you gathered Void, right, Mikado? That is correct. I was looking for information to help with my plan. I discovered traces of the children of Utsuro, who were in the same situation as me.
Children of Utsuro? It's a group of people who were helped by Mr. Utsuro as a child. Nikkei thought it sounded cool. You already had lots of information about Alter Ego, and Kokoro and Shobai were already working for you. So why did you need 4 more people into Void? That's right. You also ended up betraying all of the Voids you gathered by killing them anyway.
Betrayal, that's what you think? Do you think that the Voids didn't agree to this plan?
We didn't. You didn't explain well that we would die for real at all.
Like I said before, my manpower originally consisted of Kokoro and Shobai. However, there was a different reason why I brought the 4 Voids in. Another purpose.
For the recreation.
The total amount of divine luck everyone received was different. Everybody is aware of that fact, right?
The total amount of divine luck?
Total amount of divine luck. I think I heard something about this before. I think it's the heavenly luck point. Because the amount of divine luck they received was all different. That point's highlighted. Iroha, didn't you explain it to me before? That the total protection of divine luck depends on the amount they've received?
Oh, yeah. I heard it from Mikado.
Correct, however, I do not know 100% what the power of divine luck even is. I think none of us do, bud. The protection some might call fortune is caused by a combination of power of the divine luck itself.
A combination?
Let's use combat power in manga as an example.
Over 9,000.
Oh, he's a nerd and I love him. Oh my god. Take your glove off so I can put a ring on your hand.
Both Hajime and Emma were protected by divine luck. Hajime obtained health, and Emma obtained wealth, so each person was influenced in different ways. Going back to the manga power analogy, let's say that Hajime's fortune power is 100 and Emma's is 90. Assuming that 2 people use the power of divine luck for the same reason, the amount would combine. So if you combine the numbers 100 and 90, it's 190.
So if multiple people who were protected by divine luck work together, the power of divine luck gets stronger? Wait, does that even make sense? It truly, in reality, it does not, Yuki, but we
In
just
reality,
have to...
no. In this nonsense situation here, for the basic explanation, yes, but that's basically it.
The power of divine luck just doesn't make any sense. It's just a surreal force, so how can it combine? Well...
No, I think it's possible. During the 4th trial, do you remember what Nikkei said?
Yeah, because you had to interfere with the plan. Everything went wrong. Shinji should have died on the spot and never woke up. He would have never had a chance to even think about saving Yuki. But how come? Only those with the same power would be able to change the results.
Only people with the same power would be able to change the result. That's right. What? Divine luck is a force that distorts reality. There's no conventional way to stop it. However, if divine luck is in conflict with another divine luck, it's a different story.
Ray is right. Divine luck is strongly influenced by the intentions of the user. That's why I brought the Voids together for one purpose, to revive Master Utsuro. Despite the countless calculations I made, there was still a lot of complications, so I had to borrow divine luck slightly. Just by the Voids participating in the plan, the amount of divine luck is significantly increased, and the chances of my plan's success would increase as well. It's like a human totem pole.
So, we were just disposable things used as a battery to give you divine luck?
He did call you guys cattle.
Eh.
That's right, why else would I keep you around? Did you honestly think we were friends? Colleagues? You should have known your place.
It's so fun.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Why were just them chosen then? You just said that Utsuro helped a bunch of people. Hajime, Emma, Iruha, Nikkei. What's so special about them?
What's so special about them? Literally nothing. They were just my only option.
Is that really it?
There was nobody left in the children of Utsuro except from the voids.
It's just them? The rest died. What?
Master Utsuro couldn't help them. No matter how desperate they were or what problems they had in their lives. Those poor children living in hell without the help of Divine Luck's fortune, I simply helped them. As everybody here knows, Master Utsuro's death was the death of Divine Luck. When Divine Luck disappeared, the original fates of the people under Divine Luck's protection began to return.
Began to return?
The children who got everything they wanted thanks to their fortune suddenly lost everything. So everyone who gains something from Master Utsuro lost it. And in the cases of children who had their lives saved, they died. In one way or another, they all returned to their personal hell. And for people whose lives weren't directly saved, they couldn't take it and they took their own lives instead. It's been several years since Master Utsuro's estimated death. They were bound to be desperate.
What about Void? Why are they still alive?
That's where my theory of the total amount of divine luck they received comes in. There were 5 children, including myself, whom divine luck was imprinted deeply upon. Unlike most of the others Master Utsuro protected, we still had some protection left, as we reviewed more power than the others. If I had a choice, I would have chosen some competent people instead of this lot. Especially Iroha here. So that's why you brought four other people who were saved by Utsuro and formed Void. In part, it was because of Nikkei, who felt the crisis occurring and had already gathered the other 3. It was quite easy to get them to agree. They were all ever so desperate at the time. It's true that if my plan succeeds, the power of fortune will return.
And whilst doing that, you secretly used the voice as sacrifices. I feel no sympathy for you.
That's incorrect. Look at it from this perspective. They would have died anyway if the protection of divine luck completely disappeared. Their body would simply die. I assure you that the Voids agreed to risk their lives. I don't think they'd have any regrets about what happened.
I doubt that.
He doesn't view it the other way. Like, he feels that once it's all over, said and done, that they would be like, yeah, it's fine. He doesn't kind of understand how connections and betrayal works. So he can't process the fact that, like, I completely fucked them over. When in fact he did, and Iroha's sitting here like, shut the fuck up.
Sadly, she isn't smart enough to really give it to him, so...
Yeah, she's not smart enough to, like, counter his points, so he's not really putting it together that, yeah, he fucks them over.
Shut up! You big fat liar! What's next then? Is that all? Are the children of Utsuro the only members of your Void organization? I don't think that's the case. There's another right here in this courtroom with us. I'm talking about her. About
Yeah.
Sora.
There we go.
Tsurugi's saying that there's another person working for Utsuro. He's talking about...
Kane Taiwa's
You... Do.
Early pop!
Akane Taira. That's who you're referring to, right, Tsurugi?
As far as I'm aware of, Akane Taira is the person closest to Utsuro. Whilst using his hacking skills, the human Mikado discovered Utsuro's whereabouts, but could never keep track of him. Akane Taira is the only child Utsuro helped who managed to successfully reunite with him. Sora? But Tsurugi, Akane Taira is still in the real world. Furthermore, she's in a vegetable state. The only reason you can walk here is because it's a virtual world. A vegetative state? What are you talking about? I don't understand how Akane Taira's body survived the destruction of the lab, or how her body is still functioning. I found the presence of her in the medical records of a hospital, and I even discovered she vanished a few months ago. You found her in hospital medical records? We wouldn't have even known if she had been taken to a private clinic. It was a blind spot. Due to the tragedy, unknown patients were a common occurrence. If you want to hide a tree, put it in a forest. There were tons of early to mid-20 patients who were unconscious. We just didn't realize it was Akane Taira.
What are you talking about again?
To put it simply, it was Mikado Sanoji that took Akane Taira from the hospital a few months ago. No, it would be more accurate to say it was Shobai acting as a representative of Mikado. Am I wrong, Mikado Sanoji?
Tsurugi, you're incredible! You got it all right without me having to correct you! And that is the second of the 3 important pieces of information I mentioned previously. The fact that Sora is the presence of Akane Taira.
Shobai, you kidnapped Akane Taira?
Wait, Shobai. Is that why you didn't know about my identity as Akane Taira?
What are you talking about?
Well, it definitely seems like that based on what he said on the 5th island.
Not that it matters, this is the virtual world. Whether you are Akane Taira herself or someone pretending to be her, the fact that you have that scar means that in one way or another, you're related to that person. And that means Mikado Sanoji also knew of her too. And why the hell did he hide that information from me?
Shobai said that Mikado was trying to hide information about Akane Taira. If Tsurugi's story is correct, then it doesn't make sense for him to say that.
Well, it's true that I abducted Akane Taira from the hospital as requested. However, back then I didn't know the identity of the woman I abducted.
You abducted someone you didn't even know? I mean...
He does anything for money. Why are we surprised at this point? This man, everything he can do has a price. Just gotta pay it.
I've told you all before, I didn't look into things I don't need to. I just do as I'm told. All my employer told me to do was kidnap a woman in the hospital, so that's what I did. I got enough info to do my job. There was no reason to look deeper into it. The only thing I knew about Akane Taira is that she was related to the 79th class killing game.
Wait, didn't Iroha say something similar? That the Voids didn't know about Akane Taira's involvement?
Yeah.
Oh, it's true. What Shobai said about hiding Akane Taira's existence is true. Its information related to her was only known by Mikado.
What's the point of that? Akane Taira was the closest person to Utsuro. Why wasn't she involved in the plan?
Oh, I love this part.
That's correct. Akane was not involved in my plan to revive Utsuro. However, the girl called Akane Taira was still needed. What? I would explain it to you, but I'm quite tired of spouting exposition. So unfortunately, I can't tell you.
That's ridiculous. Do you want us to figure out your plan or not?
Remember, this is a class trial. We have an order to things around here. The reason Sora was brought here will be discussed later, so let's move on. Yuki Maeda.
Uh-huh.
You're the protagonist of the story, so of course you should come first.
No, he is not! I hate this line!
Mikado, you are...
Sora's the protag.
Do you not know where our camera is situated? Not in Yuki.
Not on Yuki. Yuki is literally just a kicked puppy that is along for the fucking ride. This story's about Sora, fucker. It's the one fight I'll have with my husband. It's not about Yuki, goddammit.
The third of my most important pieces of information is regarding Yuki Maeda.
It's so obvious. It's that you're trying to revive Hutsu using Yuki's body because of their similar brain structure.
Oh, is that so? So I don't need to explain where or who Yuki was, or why he was imprisoned by Master Utsuro and Akane.
What? Utsuro and Akane imprisoned Yuki Maeda?
You're all aware that Master Utsuro replaced Yuki using the power of divine luck in order to infiltrate Hope's Peak. During the process of this, Master Utsuro raided Yuki's home and killed his entire family. And kidnapped him, of course.
What?
Do you remember? The motive video on the third island you received. It showed your house and what happened to your family.
What?
Master Utsuro is someone who spares no blood and no tears. Yuki's mother and father were living peacefully. It's a scene that couldn't be witnessed without tears. The Maeda family was so happy and innocent in their everyday lives until... That's enough! That's enough. Are you trying to make me stop? How dare you tell Yuki such a horrid thing? If it's so horrid, why'd you do it?
Sora killed Yuki's family?
Master Utsuro's will is my own. That was the creed of Akane Taira. She was just a tool for Master Utsuro. It's not unreasonable. It's not an unreasonable act. I'd have done the same. But you of all people are the one to say that to Yuki. After everything that you did to him, you ruined his life.
Sora?
Yuki, it's not what I... It's not what? Please finish.
Man, you're having a good time.
Oh, he's having the best time.
Are you still trying to deny who you are? You can't wash divine luck away so easily! It doesn't matter how hard you try to wash away the sins of your past, your hands will be dirty. Forever!
Just stop.
Hmm?
You don't get to speak to Sora like that. Nobody cares, so just shut up. I
I
do
don't know, I
think...
kind of like when they argue.
I do kind of think that Yuki cares.
I think Yuki cares. I think Yoriko should never speak.
Yoriko, how love has blinded you from all sense. You must be blind to believe that Sora is the sweet, pure girl that you think she is.
I might be.
Yoriko.
I read all the documents you left. Everyone here knows what Sora did with Utsuro and the path she chose.
So, you're going to keep covering for her?
I'm not covering anything. I believe that Sora isn't the same person she was back then. I'm not trying to bury the past, but Sora, I'm willing to tie a knot over Akane Taira. We'll talk about it when we're done here.
Good. It seems you are a rational person after all. Sorry about that. She's right. The past is in the past. You shouldn't judge a person based on their past mistakes.
You really are a scumbag.
Oh, he's a whole handful, and I love it.
Youchi.
Yuki,
It's fine. I can handle it. I'm not the only one suffering here. First, we need to get out of our situation.
Going back to the topic at hand. Master Utsuro and Akane Taira imprisoned Yuki in a hidden space without anybody else knowing about it. They left him alone on life support.
Wow.
Yeah.
Life support?
It's a magic machine that assists with vital functions. It was initially developed for people whose body can't function on its own. Yuki couldn't live without it.
That's not the important part. Why did Mr. Utsuro keep Yuki alive? He could have just killed him. If he wanted to replace Yuki, why didn't he just kill him along with his family?
Well, I'm not sure about that myself. Perhaps he predicted this series of events and left Yuki alive in hopes someone would revive him.
Not quite it, babes, but interesting thought process.
Yeah.
You have no right to say that! Moving on, after I ordered Shobai to secure Yuki. The children of Utsuro, Akane Taira, and Yuki Maeda, they were all chess pieces for my grand plan. Unlike my human counterpart, I was able to achieve all of this, whilst he had too many limitations. Before obtaining Yuki's body, he tried to implement the plan to resurrect Master Utsuro. Of course, it wasn't easy. There was many trials and errors, various corrections, and corrections.
Trial and errors? Even before now, there have been lots of similar attempts, which were all stopped by the Foundation. They all put lives at risk. They were all supposed to be reminiscent of the previous mutual killing games. Killing games? Why were they all killing games? Why would anyone do something as terrible as a killing game?
Why is Mikado so obsessed with killing games? It's gotta be because of that.
Because of...
I think it's the 79th class.
Yeah, recreating that?
I think it's that.
It had to be a killing game to make sure you had the same experience Utsuro had. That's the reason. Correct! The last experience of Master Utsuro's entire life was his 79th class school killing school life. To synchronize the structure of Yuki's brain with Master Utsuro's, they must go through similar experiences. Experience is important, it's not just about overwriting the brain data. No matter how much data is added to your memory, it would always be someone remembering an event they didn't experience themselves. Memory, data, experience.
What's happened, Sora? Are you okay?
Yeah, it's nothing. And after various trial and errors, I finally realized what was missing. I was skipping an important step.
What step?
The discomforting feeling I felt during the investigation is growing. My memories as Akane Taira, my experiences as Akane Taira. Oh, it's not important. Right now I need to focus on what's in front of me. That's all.
Alrighty.
After obtaining Yuki, I began to test my plan. And I carried it all out in the real world. Of course, I used Yuki's real body for this. Master Utsuro's personality was recreated using an alter ego. This was to implant the alter ego into his human brain. His real body and the alter ego must be synchronized and at the same mental state.
I have no idea what you're on about.
In simple terms, his brain is in the virtual world and his body is in the real world. The structure of his brain wouldn't change no matter the conditions.
Eh?
That's ridiculous. It's an impossible feat to pull off. So, like, New World Program?
A Neo World program on Yuki's point. Cut a plan to make Yuki into Utsuro. I need to focus on that.
Speed, 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 speed.
I love just the giant question marks. So funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're wrong, Yuki. There's technology already created that makes it possible. The virtual world we're in right now is the technology itself.
Well, I know this world is impressive tech, but transplanting one's brain and turning them into a whole other person...
This is not just an ordinary virtual world. The Neo World program. That's the name of this virtual world.
The New World Program?
Well, the scientific name for it is the Psychotherapeutic Communication Simulator. I had to squint at that word for a second. It was created by the Ultimate Programmer, the Ultimate Neurologist, and the Ultimate Therapist, among others. It's a synesthetic virtual device, which you could call the essence of all of Hope's Peak Academy students.
I don't understand. Why is a program like this being used in your plan? It's simple. He just stole it. He stole it? The New World Program is a computerized device that was used as part of the Hope Restoration Program by the Future Foundation in the past. The Future Foundation intended to use this to reintegrate the Ultimate Despairs.
Oh, you know about the Future Foundation's plans. That's quite confidential information. How did you know about that, Tsurugi?
Any reason I should tell you? Future Foundation, Hope Restoration Program, Ultimate Despairs? I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not important right now. It happened a long time ago. The important thing is that it's possible to replace memories of people inside the New World Program.
What are you talking about right now?
Ray, are you talking about the personality override?
Personality override?
Monochrome mentioned it before. Junko Enoshima tried to override her personality onto people.
No, that's completely ridiculous. To override someone's personality, it can't be possible. It might sound made up, but it's been scientifically proven that synesthesia affects the brain. Mikado's analogy is trying to use this to override Yuki's brain with Utsuro's personality. That's utter nonsense.
It's easy to explain, but not that simple to put into action. Many prerequisites are required in order for the personality override to work. You need perfect brain coordination.
Brain coordination. Is that why you did the Killing Game reenactment?
That's correct. I needed to mimic the events that happened in reality. I prepared a killing game based within the Neo World program. And that's the killing school trip that you're all in right now. In fact, Sora has experienced both the killing school trip and the 79th class's killing game She should recognize this. That the killing school trip was unnatural and flowed similarly to the 79th class killing game. Additionally, making the stage of the game in a virtual world worked to a tremendous merit. Naturally, the restrictions that I needed to use Shobai were decreased significantly. The story setting is something that is so important to the killing game recreation was finally achievable.
Story setting?
The 79th class killing game Master Utsuro wasn't a killing between ordinary students. It was a killing between ultimates.
That's right.
In order for a perfect recreation, Yuki himself had to believe he was a student at Hopespeak Academy. Due to the setting of the story, the characters had to be ultimates.
Wait, that's a contradiction. We're not ultimate students. Terria said that Hopespeak was shut down a long time ago.
We're not ultimate students, Yuki's right. Hopespeak no longer exists. Therefore, Mikado decided to bring them in as substitutes.
Next generation!
Yeah.
Yuki's right, the 79th class was the last Hopespeak Academy class. That's why Mikado used next generation symbols of hope instead of ultimates.
Next generation symbols of hope? What's that? The Next Generation Symbols of Hope is a term used to describe the people who contributed greatly to society's restoration work. It's not an official title, but it's a common term used by the general public. It was spread widely through the use of social media and the internet.
But their talent is real. In fact, the idea of universalism is Hopespeak Academy's spreads like wildfire in this country. Even if you're not a Hopespeak Academy student, you can still be talented. The Next Generation Symbols of Hope prove this. The talent that was hidden because Hopespeak Academy began to reignite due to the lack of ultimates.
So, is Yoriko a symbol of hope?
Well, yeah, I wasn't aware that I was, but apparently so.
The Next Generation Symbols of Hope were kidnapped for the plan. Yuri Kagarin, Setsuka Chiabukuro, the Yotsunakoji twins, Shinji Kasai, and Yoriko Kabiya, those 6 people.
We needed others besides the voids for the plan.
Strictly speaking, Kokoro also had a talent comparable to be called a symbol of hope. However, because she remained hidden to perform her secret experiments, it would have been difficult for her to be recognized as a next generation symbol of hope.
Yuki, why are you staring at me?
It's nothing. But the list you mentioned of the Next Generation Symbols of Hope, there were adults, not students. So how old actually are you?
30s.
Oh, Yoriko is 3rd.
Enough! Why is my age that important?
Yeah,
wait,
she's in her 30s anyway.
wait, I was just curious. And if all the Next Generation Symbols of Hope are adults, how would they replace the ultimate students? Oh. So that's why they manipulated our memories.
Yeah, Yuki using his brain. Yay!
Okay.
Wow! Yuki figured something out himself!
I know! That's even funnier that that's coming from Aroha, but
Yeah.
anyway.
You're right, Yuki. The body we had during the game is an avatar created by the virtual world itself. That's why our memories and physical appearance are back to how they looked in high school. If it took place in the real world, it would have been impossible to pull off such a feat. Ultimate students are not just their talent, you know. Their age is important too. But since we're in a virtual world, it was possible to manipulate everyone's memory and even make their appearance change to recreate the killing game perfectly.
Hold on! That's not all! I know that the Next Generation Symbols of Hope, including myself, had the status of being talented, but But Mikado, out of the 6 people you mentioned, there was one with a special talent.
Out of the 6 symbols of hope, who's got a special talent? It's gotta be...
Setsuka's!
With the magic eye.
Yeah, それですね.
You're right, I remember now, it's Setsuka. She was supposedly hired by the Kisaragi Foundation.
Setsuka was working for the Kisaragi Foundation? No, she wasn't working for the Foundation, she was hired by the Foundation, similar to Shobai. Setsuka was a private investigator.
Not only that, each of the next generation symbols of hope has a connection to the 79th class of Hope's Peak Academy. In addition to their talents, he specifically kidnapped people with the connection to them.
The symbols of hope have a connection to the 79th class?
That's the first time I've heard of this. Can you explain, Akane Taira?
Well... For example, Yoriko has a relation to Kizuna Tomori since she worked with her mother.
Minako? Wait, do you know Minako? We do know her. Minako is currently working at the Kisaragi Foundation in the intelligence team of the administrative department. Seriously? Minako works for the Kisaragi Foundation too? You are still alive. You're not the type of person to die easily. Like sis.
In addition to that, Shinji was the one who saved Kanata Inori from the accident her parents died in. Yuri hired me as a maid on a business trip when he was just a child.
Yes, I recall hearing that before. Hibiki Otonokoji and Kanade Otonokoji, the twin sisters from the famous band Melody Rhythm. There were multiple accounts of disappearances of people close to them. Although they were both found innocent, they were still questioned often.
About that, I wouldn't say one of them was innocent. She was a serial killer with over 60 kills.
60? I knew it was too suspicious, but how come there was no evidence left behind at the crime scenes?
Guess you're a little incompetent.
That's great coming from her, actually. That's a fucking delicious burn, thank you.
Oh, we can't arrest people if there's no evidence. That's the law of this country. Curses, I must catch her somehow.
Well, she's
Buddy,
dead.
she's dead.
Don't worry about that. Kanada's already dead.
On the topic of Kanade, why did Mikado bring such a crazy murderer into the plan?
Oh, that? There isn't really a reason for it. I didn't even know about Kanade's crimes.
You didn't know?
Bullshit! If you're able to use information from the entire internet, surely you would find some information on Kanade.
You think I'm lying? I only brought the twins here because they were interrogated by Tsurugi himself. Of course, I did suspect something was wrong since the police was constantly questioning them both. Even my internet searching wasn't perfect. I could probably have found it out if I really tried. It wasn't important to me.
I love the defensiveness here. He's like, hey, I'm not fucking lying. I love him.
I would never have imagined that a famous guitarist would be a serial killer. There's nothing better than some shocking twist to make the killing school trip more exciting, right? Actually, I was a bit worried by Kanade's sudden murder, but that little crack didn't affect the plan too much.
So, you're scared of her?
Canonically? Yes. Yes, he is.
What was that?
Nothing.
So you wanted a connection with the 79th class of Hope's Peak. So that's why you were looking for Ryotaro. Is that why you choose Setsuka Shiabukuro? Because she was hired by the Kisaragi Foundation? That the foundation is run by the 79th class?
Well, strictly speaking, in Setsuka's case, the timing just happened to conveniently overlap. The Kisaragi Foundation asked her to find Mikado Sonoji and the others, so she approached us on her own. Unfortunately, Setsuka wasn't a capable investigator or detective, so she was easily caught. She became a next-generation symbol of hope due to the power of her eye transplant. She was easily captured by Shobai, who turned the tables on her.
I would have loved to see that fight, actually.
Yeah. Setsuka met the conditions for the killing game and she was a symbol of hope. And she accidentally fell into Mikado's hands because of the Kisaragi Foundation's request. But isn't Yuri's case a little different?
I don't think so. Even the wielder of divine luck, Master Utsuro, didn't know how it functioned.
What's that got to do with Yuri?
I was lucky when I ordered Shobai to kidnap Yuri. Because at that moment, Shobai was able to obtain something that was essential to the plan. Something essential for the killing game.
Ah, yeah, Monocle.
If it's got something to do with Yuri, then they must be talking about them.
Monocles.
これですね
I love.
You're talking about Monocro.
Monochrome? What's that? What's he got to do with this?
The AI used for space flight support developed by the Kaguri Corporation, ironically named Yuri. That's the true identity of Monocro.
The Kagurine Corporation made Monochrome?
Well, I can't say yes, but you're not entirely wrong. Does everybody here remember Monokuma?
How could I forget? Many people were killed because of those things. At least now they're all gone.
So far, several killing games have been hosted by Monokuma. The killing game itself is related to the Ultimate Despairs, so that's obvious. But now the despair has subsided to some degree, and the Monokumas have disappeared. That's why I was so interested in the Kagurine Corporation.
But why was it necessary? If you're planning to stage the killing game inside the virtual world, you could just create your own host character.
There's a reason he didn't do that, but we'll get there.
No matter how incredible I am as an alter ego, it's not that easy to create artificial intelligence from scratch.
Defensive, aren't we? Because you've already done that.
It's possible if you invested a lot of time into it, but I needed to use the AI as soon as possible. I was running out of time during the prep process, so it was the more efficient option.
So, what exactly did you do?
I'll explain that later. In any case, if I already have a high-performance AI that was made by the Kagurine Corporation, it would make things much simpler. By resetting its memory and manipulating the AI personality data, I was able to make Monochrome similar to Monokuma.
Better? You mean better. You mean better. You mean better. Because Monochrome is better.
So, Yuri has nothing to do with the existence of Monochrome?
No, not really.
So, is that all? Or is there something else?
That's it. No. It was just an AI stolen and modified to be used as the killing game's host. Being a host gives you the same authority as me inside the Neo World program, so I couldn't just let it roam around. Freely. But now the killing game is over and Monocro's gone.
I am against that. But anyway.
But now that I know the Kisaragi Foundation hired Setsuka, one thing worries me. You also said that the Foundation hired Shobai as a double agent, right? Why hire Setsuka if Shobai was already providing you with information? It's quite the opposite, Yuki Maeda. Huh? Earlier, when I explained Setsuka, you said that it was Shobai who captured her, correct? If I had hired both of them at the same time, that wouldn't have happened.
So you're saying that...
Yes, I hired Setsuka before Shobai. And the moment Setsuka was caught, I then discovered the existence of Shobai Hashimoto.
Oh
was the first to suggest hiring an investigator. To be more precise, we, the intelligence team, decided to hire her, and the other branches approved of it.
Setsuka's hiring was known to the entire Foundation compared to Shobai.
Yes, it didn't take long to find her whereabouts. But by the time the rescue was planned, there was nothing I could do. The Foundation had no choice. That's why I decided to cover up Setsuka's disappearance.
Asshole.
Yeah, in order to hide your deal with Shobai. Setsuka always reported her investigations to me. In her last communication with me, before she vanished, I felt a sense of incongruity.
Basically, this word sort of means that, like, different components of an alloy are colliding with each other. So, like, conflict of interest is basically what he's saying here, probably between him and her. I mean, I can absolutely see Satsuka not getting along with him.
And the moment she was captured, I noticed that the person I was chasing was a different person entirely to Mikado Sanoji. After hiding the information I obtained, I secretly met with Shobai Hashimoto.
Was that so? That's the first I've ever heard of such a thing. No matter what we discuss, Shobai seems to always be involved. So you had a little fun while he's kidnapping Setsuka, Shobai.
He has nothing to say to you.
Well, I'm not angry with you. In the end, it was my mistake to put so much trust in you in the first place. It seems that Mr. Kenjo here and Shobai are both very dangerous people.
That is not news.
If not for the power of divine luck, my plan would have been completely ruined. Well, I think it's about time now. So, what do you all think? How does it feel now you face the truth? Any new realizations?
That's not the whole truth. Most definitely not.
But we still have more to do, but, like, we're about to go into the case summary is why he's saying this.
Ah. What? It's so abrupt.
Don't you remember what's supposed to happen next? We give a final verdict and go over all the information we discussed during the trial. Ta-da! Then we clear the class trial.
Huh? What?
Settle down, Iroha. They all worked so hard to find out my entire plan. You found the truth of Teria's death, the truth of the Kisaragi Foundation, and the truth of Shobai. Is there still something missing? Does little Iroha know something that I don't?
Nope, definitely not. It's over? Why does it feel so sudden?
Yes, that's all. You all have my thanks. Without you, Yuki wouldn't have figured out everything, even if he investigated. It's over? Is it really over? All of Mikado's plan has been revealed, but...
The entire Sora part wasn't.
Oh, we get to that. We get to that in the next part. The problem is that it doesn't change the current situation at all. And above all else, there seems to be something we don't know.
Did you just say that it's about time? What do you mean by that? It's as if you planned out this entire discussion.
Please refrain from speculation. I only proposed the final trial, and you've cleared it correctly. That's it.
That's ridiculous. We still have lots more to discuss. What about Akanatara and Utsuro?
That's not relevant to the trial. Talking about it is just a waste of time. Or are you enjoying the trial that much that you don't want it to end?
That...
I know it might seem sudden, but... Sora, can you please do the honors? Me? Why? Isn't it tradition for you to do the closing argument in the trials? Clarifying the case is even more necessary since we're solving the whole truth here. Of course, you're not obliged to. We can always skip it if you wish. I don't want to do what Mikado says, but... he's right. This class trial isn't just about a simple murder. It's about a complicated plan that spans multiple years. So summarizing everything we've discussed might help everyone out. Right. I'll put everything I investigated and what we discussed in this trial together. And hopefully after that, this dim atmosphere will go away.
My condolences to your voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna die, it's fine. I just, after the closing argument, I want to break.
Hmm,
So I can
yep.
get more tea.
I also need the toilet again. I'm drinking like a master.
I feel that. Anyway, you see all the images in the bottom. Just so I can just sit here. Until
Yep.
they start talking.
Wee. Mm-hmm. Bum 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 bum.
Yeah, I was fully prepared for this trial to kick my ass because my characters talk the most.
Yeah.
It's also why I don't have many left to voice, is because my characters don't shut up.
I was wondering why I have so many more people, but yeah, you really talk the most.
Yeah, I had a reason for assigning the roles the way I did, because I was like,
これ
oh
が真
fuck,
実です
how am I balancing this? Anyway.
It all started a few years ago when someone read the alter ego Kisaragi backup data kept by the Foundation. One who read this data was Mikado Sonoji, someone who was saved by Utsuro in the past and has been searching for him since childhood. Alter ego Kisaragi had the data on the entire 79th class killing game. It was at that moment that Mikado realized that Utsuro was dead. He made his new mission to resurrect Utsuro, so he started the killing school trip. Usually, reviving the dead is impossible. However, Mikado used his hacking expertise, collected information about Utsuro, and devised a plan to use that knowledge. And that plan was to resurrect Utsuro as an alter ego in the virtual world. But alter ego is an advanced technology that could only be created by Ultimate students. So it was impossible for Mikado to create an alter ego with his ability alone. Because of this, he decided to collaborate with someone with excellent abilities comparable to that of an Ultimate. It was Kokoro Kurokawa, who met as Kokoro Mitsume during the killing game. Kokoro performed experiments on her daughter in order to study primitive emotions in the past. Her daughter was part of the 79th class of Hope's Peak, the ultimate exorcist Mikaku Kurokawa. Even after she escaped her confinement, there was still data being recorded for Mikako until the day of her death. All stored in Kokoro's computer due to a computer chip implanted into her brain. From this data, along with the information of the 79th class killing game in Utsuro, Mikado created an alter ego base. But there was something Mikado overlooked. It was extremely difficult to create an alter ego of someone else. So Mikado first decided to create his own alter ego. And thanks to Kokoro inserting an excessive infusion of emotions into it, the alter ego began to run wild and saw human Mikado's plan would not succeed. Alter ego made plans to deal with his real self and hired Shobai to work as his body. And so, he ordered Shobai to kill Mikado. When his jammer disappeared, Alter Ego began to make serious plans. It was at this point that it became impossible for the Kisaragi Foundation to track Alter Ego down, and nobody could stop him. Alter Ego searched networks from all around the world and collected a large amount of information to help with his plans. He discovered information about Yuki, who was kidnapped by Utsuro and imprisoned somewhere.
Hands has nothing on.
Yep.
Utsuro went to Hope's Peak instead of Yuki, and so the two bodies had many similarities. That's why he kidnapped Yuki, who is currently on life support, and attempted to resurrect Utsuro using his body. In order for Yuki to become Utsuro, Alter Ego created a plan to synchronize with Yuki's brain. Plan was for Yuki to have a similar experience to the one Utsuro had. Specifically to recreate the 79th killing game and infuse Yuki with that experience. And for that, he needed students to participate in the killing game. Furthermore, to maximize the power of Divine Luck, Alter Ego brought together people who gained fortune from Divine Luck. Children of Utsuro, also known as Void.
Oopsie at that coding error.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of that near the end. It's fine. There's a lot of errors.
Even if the plans were made, it still wasn't an easy process to bring Utsuro back to life. After lots of trial and error, Alter Ego finally came to the conclusion that he had to use a virtual world. To do this, he stole the Neo-World program from the Future Foundation. He modified the already created virtual worlds and turned it into Utsuroshima, the perfect setting for an Alter Ego. With the stage setting, Alter Ego began to gather the remaining participants. All the participants had something in common. They were all seen as symbols of hope, and they had to have some connection to the 79th class. In the virtual world, everyone's bodies and memories were manipulated so they believed they were Hope's Peak freshmen. And with this, the recreation of the 79th class's killing game began, and we, who knew nothing about this, began to doubt and ultimately kill each other. Thanks to the efforts of Void and the power of Divine Luck, the plan went smoothly. All controlled by will of an Alter Ego.
Oh, I love this shot. I love this shot. Wait. Yeah, I love this shot.
This killing tool trip was all controlled by the Alter Ego, calling itself Mikado Sonoji, the true culprit of our suffering.
Baby boy!
I love this shot. It's one of my favorite shots in the whole game. I love them. Their dynamic is incredible to me. Anyway, T,
we're gonna
please.
make a cut
Okay.
here. We will continue next time, and yeah, we shall enjoy a well-deserved tea and potty break.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, until then, bye-bye!